Nushin says it's better. Okay, Nushin, I'm gonna go with you. Hi guys, so thank you so much for joining me. If you just joined me, this is just a 10-15 minute opportunity for you to have some more time for yourself, some more focus for yourself. I was mentioning before about meditation being a conduit to peace, calm and focus. Now, we know in life we're rushing around doing things that make our life feel about 100 miles an hour. But when we are rushing 100 miles an hour, it's very dangerous unless we have short moments of stillness and short moments of peace. It's like if you're driving a car 100 miles an hour and then you don't stop, anything can happen. So this is an opportunity for us to have a little bit of time to focus. So a little bit about me. I've been meditating for roughly 10 years. I came across meditation when I went through a relationship breakup and I just felt very, very lost. I came across a local youth center that did free meditation and that set me off straight away. I'm also an actor, so I do musical theatre. I'm currently in a production, but obviously because of the current situation, I can't work. So I'm just doing a bit of volunteer work. I'm also doing a little bit of local work in the community, just helping people out. And also trying to just offer myself to share meditation with everybody as well, because I find it really benefits me. I've also been working over 10 years with people as a mentor. So I did what was called the 100 Men for Mentor project early in the 2000s with young people. I've also worked as a support worker for young people, and I've also worked in a hospital social work team. So I've got a lot of experience working with people and helping them get from one part of their life to the other. So I think without further ado, we shall start with our first meditation. So I'm going to take you over to my table. So come with me, bring your cups of tea. Right, I'm going to set you guys up here. Now, I urge everybody to do meditation with your eyes open. It may sound a bit weird, but the reason I say that is because when you're able to meditate with your eyes open, it gives you the chance to be able to get into a meditative state anywhere. You don't have to be sat in a posture. You don't have to chant or do any kind of mantra, which are, certain types of meditations, but for a very basic general meditation, you don't need to. Try and focus on a point in front of you. So you can look at your phone, or if you'd like to, put your phone to the side and just look at something in the distance that you're able to soften your gaze on. So the first meditation is just about what we hear. Okay, so in this moment, sit comfortably, feet flat on the floor, arms relaxed. Now, in this moment, we take the time to gently bring our focus to our breathing. Paying attention to how our lungs breathe in and they breathe out. We pay attention to our lungs expanding and releasing, trusting our body to regulate the flow of air without having to force it, without having to try. We simply breathe in and breathe out. As we continue our breathing, we start to notice the rhythm of our breathing. Slowly breathing in, slowly breathing out. As we continue breathing, we bring our attention to what we can hear. It may be the sound of the cars outside. It may be the sound of the neighbors next door. It may be the sound of your own breath. I take this time to notice what I can hear. As I continue to relax my breathing, I now bring my focus back to my current awareness. Bring my focus back to the room. Bring my focus back to my body. And I bring my focus back to this moment. Okay, guys, well done. That was your first meditation for this morning. How did that feel? I hope that was okay. Now, again, as I said, meditation really by definition is just about focus. And I think what happens is over time we get out of the habit of choosing the peaceful and the more calm things to focus on. And what we do is we get sometimes quite caught up in what's being brought to us, in what people are saying about us. Sometimes it's bringing too much of what the outside world is doing into us. However, in the current situation now where we all have to be inside, where we all have to be self-isolating, social distancing, we have the opportunity to really examine and take a look intimately at our own inner world. We have a landscape inside of us that is so vivid, it's so beautiful, it's so rewarding. But the fact is, over time, we have forgotten how to access that, and instead we turn to the exterior and expect the outside to feed the inside. So that meditation was literally about 90 seconds. Very easy. So that's your first meditation for this morning. We're going to do a few more meditations, very quick and very easy like that. I've got some comments here. Aldo says that she's going to keep practicing. I know you find it difficult sometimes to get into focusing. But again, it's very simple. When you have time, just literally focus on one of the senses. We chose hearing. So being able to hear what we were able to just focus on was a way to bring everything else a bit more into focus. All right, I'm going to go back to my notes. I'm going to be doing a series of these. So over time, I'm going to give you guys a few more tools and a few more tips on how to manage stress, how to manage difficult people, tips on how to deal with challenging situations as well. There's a tool that I use called Traffic Control, which is about, actually I'll probably give that to you at the end. It's probably a bit of homework for you. Traffic Control is finding a few moments throughout the day where you can spend literally about 60 seconds, somewhere between 60 seconds to 5 minutes of just your own focus. And when you do that throughout the day, it gently kind of slows your kind of like your rush down. But I'll give that to you later on. Yes, so let's talk about what's happening at the moment. I think with lockdown, it's forced a lot of people to change their definition of happiness. I found that for me, I would place happiness on activities such as shopping, such as going out for a drink at the bar, socializing with friends. And I mean, some of those things are, a given. That's what we should do. We're humans, we connect. However, when you have an activity that's stripped away from you and you feel there's a kind of loss from that, it shows you that it's not necessarily nourishing you instead it's slightly taking away from you. Now, in terms of spending time with friends, it's the 21st century. We have ways to connect. We can talk over FaceTime, we can do live videos, we can do Zoom calls, we can still connect. So that is nourishing. However, when I'm shopping, it's an activity that requires external stimuli. It requires me to go somewhere, to do something, to give money to somebody in order to get something. Now, the principle behind that being quite addictive is that if I do that once, I feel good. But then how long does it take until I need to buy something else? How long does it take before I need to go to a different designer shop? How long before I get bored of what I bought and I need to try a different look? So it kind of makes you realize that there's some things in life that can become quite addictive, and there's some things in life that are quite nourishing. Now, I really encourage you to spend time with yourself, as again, the inner world, it's the kind of world that's not as explored as everything else. We know about Gap, and we know about H&M, we know about Gucci, but there's not much of a manual, there's not much of a website, there's not much of a store that's labeled you. Everything about you and your experiences in your life lies latent within you. And with focus, with meditation, it really allows those things to come up. So that being said, it's time for our second meditation. So I'm going to take you back to the meditation table. Bring your cup of tea, your water. Okay. Right. Okay. So, same again. We're going to gently sit with our body relaxed, keeping our eyes open, and gently softening our gaze on something in front of us. So you might choose to look at the wall, you might choose to look at the phone, you might choose to look at the chair across the room, but gently soften your gaze in front of you with your eyes open. We take our awareness to our breath, trusting our lungs to breathe in, trusting our lungs to breathe out, knowing that whatever we do, our body will regulate the flow of air. As we begin to relax, I visualize myself in a field. In this field, there is lots of space. In this field, I can smell the flowers. In this rich green field, I can hear the wind. In this green field, I feel relaxed. In the distance, I see an air balloon. As I continue to feel relaxed, I slowly make my way towards this air balloon. As I approach this air balloon, I see that it's not tied down, and slowly and gently I step in. Inside this air balloon, I feel safe. Inside this air balloon, I feel comfortable. And just as I feel this comfort in the air balloon, I realize this air balloon is beginning to rise. As the air balloon rises, it gets higher and higher and higher, gently sailing into the sky. From this vantage point, I look down outside of the air balloon, and as I look down, I see images of all the problems and troubles in my life. Below me, I can see clearly the beginning and the end of all of my problems. As I look down from the air balloon, I can see all the challenges I face in my life. And I realize from here how small those problems are. I can see every single challenge and every single issue I'm facing. I take the moment just to realize how small these issues are. And just as I realize these issues are small, the air balloon begins to descend. Gently, the air balloon lands on the ground, and I step outside of the air balloon. In this moment, I return my focus to my breathing, knowing that my body is relaxed, and I bring my awareness back into the room. Okay guys, how was that? I hope that felt okay. The idea behind that meditation is to realize that sometimes when we're going through challenges, everything is just so close to us. Everything is just so before us that we can't conceptualize the beginning and also the end of what the problem is. And there's something about the image of an air balloon that when you're so far up, like we've all been on a plane, when you're so far up and you look back down, the biggest things that you can imagine, they seem like that. The biggest buildings, the biggest cars, the biggest supermarkets, shops, they look like tiny little Lego pieces. And what's important is that we use this meditation or that visualization every now and again to remember that even though something that seems massive, something that seems very drastic and something that seems very challenging in your life, by taking a different perspective on it, you're able to encompass and see the beginning and also the end of how to get through that problem. So that's a tool that I want to give to you. Try and use that, whenever you feel you're facing something that's quite challenging and you may not have the tools at the time to deal with it, but by sometimes almost just rising above it, bringing your mind to a clearer space, you're able to visualize the beginning and also the journey through to the end. So guys, in saying that, I wanted to thank you so much for joining me. This has been the morning meditation. It's really, really important to continue to find small moments for yourself throughout the day. It's a really challenging time with the government having given new guidelines, with people practicing social distancing. We don't have the luxury of being able to have hugs from our friends and see loved ones and spend time with them. We don't have that luxury. So it's really important to try and find ways to really fortify and to really give yourself some inner peace and some inner strength. So I really do hope that these 2 meditations are some good ways for you to gain that strength. Okay, I'm going to leave you with a bit of homework. So I'm going to try and do some more sessions throughout the week. Your homework is, as I mentioned before, traffic control. So if you just joined me, unfortunately you've missed the whole session, but there will be more throughout the week, so don't worry. Your homework is called traffic control. Now, the concept of traffic control I learned through the style of meditation I began 10 years ago. And again, it's about understanding that the mind has habits. It has habits of bringing thoughts up and kind of like staying there and ruminating and kind of going round and round. Now, if we can try and understand that this is what the mind is trying to do, we could almost just transcend that whole cycle and have a kind of like inner power. So what I want you to do is I want you to find 2 times during your day where you can stop and have time for yourself. Okay? 2 times during your day. So one time might be in the morning, once at 10 o'clock. I'm really lazy, so I tend to get up just before 10 o'clock. So for me, my first traffic control is 10 o'clock. Now my traffic light goes red for everything outside, for my phone, for my boyfriend, for anybody who might be ringing, the Amazon delivery, he's trying to ring, my light goes red. But for me and for my spirit inside, for my soul inside, my light goes green. I give myself that 2 minutes, that 5 minutes of just, Derek time. And I might do the air balloon meditation. I might do the sound meditation where I'm just listening to what I can hear and focusing in on that and letting that fill my consciousness. And then the second one I'll do is normally around 3 o'clock. My partner's from Spain, and in Spain they practice siesta all the time. And in the afternoon, it's a good time for him to have a rest, recharge his batteries, and continue going with the day. And I thought, that's a really good idea, So because, I was brought up in London, for me, I don't really need to siesta. I do sometimes, but I don't always need to take a nap. But what I do find really helpful is to refresh myself mentally. So my second traffic control is 3 o'clock. Again, my light goes red, phone goes down, people ringing the doorbell they don't get answered to, no emails, no anything. And I just have that few minutes of just focus where, I might choose a different sense. I might choose sight, and I might focus on a candle and just focus on the way that the light just moves. Really let that light just fill my consciousness and let everything else just fade away just for a few moments. And in doing that, in the morning at 10 o'clock and again at 3 o'clock, I'm learning to train my mind. I'm learning to train my mind to stop bringing up these random thoughts all the time. I'm training my mind to focus on what I want my mind to focus on. And that right there is the essence of what meditation is. It's the choice to choose what you want to focus on. All right, so that's your homework. I will post another post to you all to let you know when the next meditation session is. But in the meantime, peace and love. And if you have any questions or anything that you need help with, I'm here. You have my DM. Please just reach out, let me know. All right? Sending you lots of love. Take care. Lots of water, lots of sleep. And I'll see you soon. All right, guys. Peace out.